Hello to my online learners and welcome to Unit 5, which is Module 10. So when we look, let's start by looking at the schedule so we know what's going on. We're almost near the end and it's going to get quite tight towards the end because everything has to be finished up by the end of May. And because I gave you that break during Easter, we kind of have to squish a little. So what we're going to look at in Module 10 is respiration, just one topic, but we're going to go into quite a bit of detail. And also I want you to work on the current research assessment. So Module 10 is pretty short because of that. We'll come back to more detail once I go through the whole unit. Then Module 11 is digestion and Module 12 is urinary. Now Module 12 will be closing on the Friday, not on the Tuesday. So it is a big push, and the exam, notice the exam is at the end of May. The exam writing window is May 29th to May 30th. So make note of that now, especially if you need to organize a staff or a proctor, as it's called, to help you write the exam. So that is what we're looking at for Unit 5. And again, we're going to be done near the end. We're going to finish off the current research assessment. And we have 3 topics: respiratory, digestion, and urine. Okay, let's pop over into Module 10 and have a look at what we're doing in Module 10, just as an introduction. So when we start, we are basically just looking at respiration. We're going to look at the parts and the function of the respiratory system, talk a little bit about internal and external respiration, and then look at the mechanism for breathing. So the time commitment should only be about 2.5 hours, and that's because I want you to take time to finish up the current research assignment, because we are now, this week we will be replying to your threads, and that was talked about in the current research video. So if you want to pop back to that and have a look there, that will give you the details on Part B. So in respiration, we're going to have a check-in again to look at it, then an introduction to respiration, look at the parts of the respiration system, how the lungs work. Then there's some quizzes where you just take a screen grab again. Most of you are doing really well on those, and you're doing them until you meet full success, which is great. Then we're going to talk about gas exchange and the importance of getting oxygen into our body and carbon dioxide out of our body. Then a few questions from the textbook for review, a few more online quizzes because it's pretty straightforward there. Sorry, this one isn't. Yeah. And again, these you may use any resources you wish that are your own. So no other humans and no search engines, please. But if you've got good notes, you should have no trouble answering these. And again, you get a couple, I think you get 3 attempts. So that way you can do it until your mark is good. Then we're going to do Part B of the current assessment, the current research assessment. And this is where you reply to 2 other students. So last week you should have written your own thread and your post on whatever research you wanted or you chose from the list. Now you're going to read other ones and choose 2 of them in your group, and then you are going to reply to that. And to reminder of that, if you scroll up right here at the very bottom, is how you access the discussion board. And that's all outlined again in the video we talked about. Then that is a little bit of catch up, and it's a pretty short week. So if you find you're done early, feel free to start week 11 and get ahead there. Good. If you have any questions, email me. Other than that, have a good week. And all the best thinking about and learning about your breathing.